everybody, welcome back to Building SouthLake. So today I have a couple new things to show you guys that I've been working on because I've actually had some free time on this great weekend, or I guess the last weekend would be by the time this comes out. Anyways, so one of the new buildings that I was adding is this one right here, which you can kind of tell is it's not too tall, which is, as I told you guys, over here on this side of the actual highway. I want to keep the buildings a little bit smaller. And so this building is something I came up with, which the idea is actually from Huntington, which I think it looks pretty good. It kind of fits in with the city and the area. It's also not too tall for its surroundings, which is something that I also really do like. There's not as much design from the backside here, but the front definitely does have some more design. And the other thing that we are going to be working on is a parking garage today, which we're making over by the stadium. It is already started. We're hopefully going to finish up basically like the outside of it. But before we do that, like usual, we need to go over to the stadium and add in our subscriber of the week. So let's fly over here. You can kind of see the parking garage that we're going to be working on there. Small little teaser, I guess. And so we're in the new dugout. Kind of lit it up a little bit. It's not fully done, but I have enough done for now. So today our subscriber of the week is Dark Eclipse. So let's make sure we spell this right. D-A-R K, then E-C, make sure, so E-C-L-I-P-S-E, Eclipse 016. And let's make sure we get that right. And we are good. So, Dark Eclipse 016, thank you very much for watching my videos. And again, if you guys want to become a subscriber of the week, all you got to do is keep watching videos. A lot of people still ask me like, hey, can you put me in SouthLake? I don't really do it by, just random people. I don't just say, oh yeah, I just want to put this person. I look at the numbers I'm given on YouTube, and I know some of you guys are probably tired of hearing this, but basically I look at what I'm given and I go off of that. So it's not just a random thing. So basically, let's just move on from that conversation on to the next one. So this is the parking garage I added across from the stadium, because in a stadium, you need parking garages for people that come to the games to actually park. So I wanted to add in a little bit more of a modern parking garage, and I think this really does hit the nail on the head there. And it kind of fits in too, because at first I wasn't sure if these colors would work with the actual brick of the stadium, but I think they really are turning out pretty nice. The materials that we are using, I will go over here in a second, just in case you're curious. But also keep in mind that I am using the city texture pack, which is very different from the vanilla texture pack when it comes to design. So again, just kind of take that with a grain of salt if you are a little bit curious about it. But the main materials for this actual parking garage, they are white stained clay, stone, cobblestone walls, nether brick slabs, and quartz slabs. Also cyan glass, both pane and just regular. Yeah, so today we're actually just going to kind of work on this a little bit, kind of talk about a couple different things here and there. A lot of it's going to be like a lot of random stuff, hopefully, but hopefully we don't jump around too much. So basically, SouthLake's really been, we're almost to episode 50, and there's 53 weeks in a year, if I remember correctly. So SouthLake's been going on for more than a year, but we are going to be coming up on a year for videos here pretty soon. For the 53rd episode, there's probably not going to be anything special for that 1 year, anniversary for it. But one thing that we will be doing for episode 50 is we will be doing a world tour, which a lot of people, they like the world tours because they can kind of see everything in one shot. They can get a little more detail put into everything, which if you do want to see a tour, always come back every 10 parts. I mean, hopefully you come back every single week to see what's going on. But if you want to see a tour precisely, just like a whole video dedicated to a tour, you'll have to come back every 10 parts. So, for example, episode 50, then after that, it would be episode 60, which a tour every 10 parts might seem, a little too quick, but a lot of the stuff is done off camera, and a lot of it is also done on camera. For example, a lot of this parking garage here that we're working on now, a lot of it was done off camera, because I cannot build this entire thing in one go in one video. That's just not going to happen. It took way too long just to come up with a design. And luckily, the design for this actually fit in perfectly with how everything works around it. So I'm actually really happy with how it's actually fitting in within the area. because I've been wanting to add a parking garage in the actual city for a while. I have like one other one over by the museum, but so far this is the second parking garage we actually have in the city, which we actually need more because just like in real cities, you need places to park because there aren't just big parking lots like you would get in, you know, like less populated cities and like in suburban areas, things like that. So really, I need to add some more parking garages into buildings and things like that. And at work, we're actually working on a building which got me some great inspiration. Basically, it's a building that I can't talk about the actual project itself because one, I'm not all too sure about like what it is. I'm not going to say the project name either. But one of the projects that we are working on at work is basically a building that has 2 residential towers on top of a train station, which I think is actually really cool. I feel like I could do that, like kind of twist it a little bit, and maybe do that with a parking garage on the, what was the thing? I got distracted by the invite. I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, so basically, if I just use a parking garage instead of a train station to go underneath the building, I think that really could work because it would also be very modern at the same time. And oh my god, some people just keep sending me invites. So that's another thing I do want to talk about because a lot of people get upset with me that I don't join their parties or that, you know, I don't really talk to them too much. And a lot of the times my notifications are on, so I can see if you send me a message, but I can't reply back to everybody who does send me a message right away. And a lot of people get upset with this because they usually have something that they want to say. A lot of people just want to say hi and say like, hey, thank you very much for making videos, which I love those comments and those messages I get, but I can't reply back to every single one I get. And a lot of people get upset by that, but it's just if I looked at every single message I got as soon as I got them, you know, that's going to take a lot of time out of my day and out of what I'm doing. You know, that's basically, like, for example, if I looked at those messages that I just got, that's taking time out of the video. And it's kind of the same thing to where I can't open them all up as soon as I get them. And so if you do get upset by that, I am sorry. It's not that I'm trying to ignore you. But also, if you keep sending me invites, you're more just going to get on my bad side by doing that. Because one, it just gets very annoying. Because then it's just like, okay, calm down. You're also going to make it worse for everybody else. And the reason for that is the fact that I will probably turn off my notifications if I keep getting invites over and over again by people, which then ruins it for everybody else if they have a question for me. And usually if it's a question, after I read the comment or the message, I usually try to reply back to it, depending on like what the topic is. Some people want me to build cities for them and help them build cities, which unfortunately I have to say no to those people because one, cities take way too long to make. As you can tell, I've been working on this for over a year and it's still not even close to being done. So as you can probably imagine, that's why I don't really help people building cities. It's just because they take so long. And some people still want me to build like skyscrapers, things like that. Like, I've had a lot of people say, well, I understand like you can't help me with like the actual city, but can you maybe build like one skyscraper so I can kind of have one from you on there? And I understand that, but it's a little bit more reasonable than helping with an actual city. But also, skyscrapers do take quite a bit of time to make. Like this parking garage, for example, probably took me an hour or two just to get the main part of the design done, and I didn't even fully finish it, and that's not including filling in the actual floors with the gray wool for the concrete and everything like that. So as you can imagine, things take a very long time to make. That small building that we saw earlier took 2 hours to make. So it's just one of those things to where I can't get around to everything and do everything for people. It's not because I don't like you guys. It's not because I want to ignore you guys. It's more just the fact that, you know, I have stuff I gotta do, and if I'm gonna build on other people's worlds, I'd rather build on mine, because that way, this might sound like kind of selfish here, which hopefully doesn't come across as selfish to most, but the way I look at it is, the time I spend building something on your city, which I'm never probably gonna see again, I could have built something on my city, which I could be using for a video. Now again, hopefully that comes across as making sense and not too cocky, I guess might be the best word to use for that. It's because I don't want to come across like that, but that's probably just the best way I can be honest and describe it to you guys, because a lot of what I do is for my channel, and now being that I have less free time than before, I can't really go around to everybody's worlds and build things, because a lot of people, they want skyscrapers, they want things, you know, that I built on my city on theirs, which again, I understand, and that's the whole point of this series, is that you guys can, you know, see a couple different designs hopefully and get your own inspiration. For example, this parking garage, if you are looking for like a modern one, you know, that's probably your best bet. Hey, my friend Kyle's on. I haven't talked to him in a while. Probably have to talk to them and play with them after this video. Maybe play some FIFA. Speaking of that, FIFA 16 is coming out next month. Oh my god, I'm excited. Or would it be this month? Because I think it comes out in September, like the end of September. I don't know. I've lost track. There we go. That's done. Come to the front, and we'll put our cobblestone walls in here. Yeah, but also this idea for the parking garage is from Huntington as well. Talking about Huntington, actually, kind of a good segue, I guess. So Huntington actually moved, you know, owners, because the owner Yazzer, he basically quit the server. I'm not too sure about, you know, why. I'm not gonna speculate because I don't want to say anything that's not true. But just from what I heard, he just got really busy, didn't really have time for it. It's from what I've heard, and which it does kind of suck because I did know Yazzer. He was a very nice guy. He basically helped me out with a lot of things on the server as well. If I joined the server and he was on, he would say, hey, have you seen this new thing that we built on the server? Like, for example, the dam that I did for the Vision. He actually showed me that when I got on, because I didn't know about it. He teleported me to it and said, hey, you should maybe do a video on this. And I did, because it looked really cool. And since Huntington is such a big server, it was really hard for me to like get around to everything. I forgot some black glass panes. Heaven forbid I did that. Here they are. Yeah, so Yazzer left, which to some people that might be like devastating, and you might be wondering like, hey, what's gonna happen to Huntington after that? Well, the good news is though, Huntington is still continuing on. It's not going to be stopping. One of the other, I guess, like co-owners of the server is basically taking over now. He's in charge of it. So hopefully the server just, you know, stays up and maintains itself, because they have put so much work into that city that it would be a shame just to see it kind of crumble, I guess might be the best way to put that. But I definitely don't think they will let that happen, because they have put so much time into it, and it's more just like, you spent so much time on it, why destroy it, you know? So they are going to be having a new server, so if you don't see a Vision episode up on Wednesday, that might be it. But I might have a new series coming out on Thursday, which I want to start doing more, which I talked about a lot in the past. But with a new server named, or called Hypixel, which I'm sure you guys have heard of, and, you know, a lot of Minecraft videos. It's a very popular PC server, which just has a whole bunch of mini games like Build Battle, paintball, basically anything you can imagine for Minecraft. They basically have it, so it's pretty cool. But basically it's going to be a subscriber series, basically to where I go on to Hypixel and play with you guys, just in general, because that's a little bit more fun for me in the long run too, because it gives me more stuff to work on. We're actually getting pretty close to finishing this up already, which I'm actually pretty happy with that. Just got to add in these pillars, and I think this is going to be done, other than the actual things themselves, like the floors, which usually I just do the top floor, but even the top floor on this is going to take a very long time, just because of the sheer, you know, size of it. As you can tell, it takes up quite a bit of space, and I was actually considering adding 2 of these parking garages, just because stadiums are very big, and I wanted to make it feel kind of realistic. So I was considering adding more than 1 of these big parking garages, which I'm still kind of debating about it a little bit, and I'm not too sure if I want to do that or not. I'll just have to kind of play that by ear and to see how things turn out. Come back down and then come back up. Just gotta do this 2 more times. Also, again, I told you that I'd be jumping around from different topics. So one of the things I actually found out, not really found out, but thought of that I want to do with SouthLake was, in the past I told you guys kind of like my vision for SouthLake in the future when it gets done on the main part of what we have now and where to expand it out to. Because as you guys know, I'm working on an ocean, and one of the things I actually want to do that I thought of was, what if I took Newfield and kind of remade it to the SouthLake standards on the other side of the ocean. That way I have SouthLake and Newfield, my 2 best cities, put into one. And I think that would just be, I think that'd be really cool if I could actually do that. It would take a lot of time, obviously, to do that, and it wouldn't be the exact replica, because I'd want to make it more realistic and, like I said, to the SouthLake standards that I have now for this city. But I think it would be kind of cool to hopefully like recreate the two things a little bit. So yeah, we actually got this done in a reasonable amount of time, exactly where I want to keep the video length. So thank you very much for watching, guys. It is greatly appreciated. If you do have any questions for me in the comments, let me know, and I will try to get back to a lot of you guys. So I will see you guys next week or tomorrow for maybe an episode of The Vision. So bye bye, everyone.